Dudes, what's happening? This is Trent, and it is 2019, and perhaps this is the year that you decided it's time. It's finally time to get myself a decent drawing tablet. Today I'm going to be evaluating the Artist 12 series, a tablet that you can draw on the screen from XpPen, a device that just came out last year, and I'm going to help you decide whether or not this is a good purchase for you from an artist perspective with a handy little review. I'm going to skim through a lot of the holiday packaging and a lot of the unboxing to get to the meat and potatoes of the product here. But to give you the quick rundown, the packaging is nice. It comes with a cylinder, and within that cylinder there's a pen. It's a very nice pen, actually good quality plastic. It's lightweight. It does have edges on it, so it feels like a normal pencil. It has a button on the back end for eraser and a third mouse button on the pen itself. The cylinder also contains extra nibs if you draw like a beast and just burn through the plastic on those. It comes with different regional adapters. I'm in the United States, so the standard one works for me, but it's got you covered as far as other ones. You'll have to look at which ones it does support. It comes with a nice little gift pocket thing that has a keychain with a nifty little character drawing on it. That doesn't necessarily make you draw better, but this glove might. It's a fancy little drawing glove. Only the pros use these to keep your hand cool and not sweaty. Anyway, it gets a nice little thank you card, a holiday greeting card. Wow. XpPen goes for the brownie points with extra do-it-yourself stickers of their character. I don't know if that's their mascot. It does have a step-by-step guide to set it up so you won't be lost in multiple languages, and of course a warranty code. Let's hope their warranty is better than their competitors. In the second box, you've got all of your cables. It does come with an HDMI to a mini. Had to look it up. This is a Thunderbolt to HDMI converter. It also comes with a set of wires that are actually pretty compact in terms of design. You'll end up with one wire coming out of your device, and then you'll need a USB and HDMI into your MacBook or your computer, whatever it is that you're using. Now, they also sent me a carrying case that's soft and plushy, and a stand as well, which actually it's got a good weight to it and rubber on it, so it sticks to it pretty good. And I did some checking, and unless if you order it with it, I think you get a discount if you order it with it, but I don't think it's a standard with the package. Talking specs, let's see, it's an 11.6-inch display screen. It's got a decent viewing angle, but I did notice it wasn't as bright and vibrant as some other displays. Can hardly complain for the price tag though, geez. Just out of curiosity, I held it up next to my Wacom Intuos Pro. This is the medium size, so you can kind of get an idea if you're used to that. It's a similar drawing size. Of course, that does not let you draw on the screen, and it's more expensive even, so it's a little bit surprising to see the sticker price of this thing be so cheap. During the setup, I was surprised to see that it actually comes with these little labels on the cords just to make sure that you know which ones connect to what. They did a really good job of helping you get set up. You know, it's the little things. I actually appreciated that. If you're an absolute noob to drawing on a screen, you're not going to understand how things connect, but they do a good job of helping you set it up. But all that's fine and dandy. The specs are nice, but let's get down to the brass tacks. Let's talk about the real question. Can you draw with this thing? Can you get professional results using this tablet device? So this is something like the setup that you're going to see. Essentially, you've got your device set up off to the side of your MacBook or your Windows-based computer. You just need a computer to run this, though. The device itself, of course, does not have a computer built into it. It does have to hook up to a machine. This is really a display that allows you to draw on the screen, as you can see here. In terms of the size of it, as I showed you previously, it's pretty close to a Wacom Intuos Pro medium size. It does have a lot of the wires are consolidated down into one USB-C device that plugs into the display, while it splits further down the line. So you have your power out and your HDMI cable that go into your computer device. If you're using a modern MacBook, you're going to need a HDMI C-hub adapter. This is the one that I got. It doubles as something that I can use for my Nintendo Switch, which is pretty handy. But you basically need to be able to plug in your HDMI and your USB to this device. I suppose it would be impossible for them to plan for every different type of adapter, so you just need something that converts an HDMI into your computer. Some laptops still have the HDMI. Anyway, if you have a modern MacBook, this is the one I use. As far as the back of it goes, of course, here I've got it set up on the stand, so you can see it just kind of rests on top of it. The stand itself is pretty compact. It folds up. It has a button on the side that allows you to raise and lower the elevation. It has a pretty good grip. These are rubber, so they grip to the back of the display itself pretty well. It also folds up pretty flat, and it's a little bit heavy so that it can have a strong base. It has rubber along the bottom as well, so it gets really good grip on the table surface. I tried using this on my lap. I tried using this on the stand. I tried drawing on my head and drawing while driving. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. But I found that the most comfortable way for me was to draw with it like a tablet. So you can also mirror everything on your screen onto your larger display. And that works out pretty well too, because then it just acts like a normal tablet. So it's neat when you want to draw with it on your lap or just draw with it on the screen. The back, of course, features these rubber pads in each corner. They're pretty nice in terms of design. I love how thin this is. For a display of this size, it is shocking how lightweight and thin it is with the quality of the display that you get. I mean, this is as light as my Intuos drawing tablet. Okay, so now comes the real test. Can you draw anything of any value with this thing? I went ahead and set up two cameras so you can see exactly what's on my screen here, and you can also see how I'm drawing with it. To keep it poppin', I've increased the speed about 3 times. I found that there was no lag in the movement. In fact, it was exactly on par with what I was expecting from the professional grade tablets that I'm used to using. It's actually, I would say the pressure sensitivity was very similar. This is of a higher quality than some of the other devices that I've used. Specifically, it felt more firm than, say, a Huion or a Vaic. After a little while, I thought I'd give it a shot to try the stand a little bit more and draw with that, kind of leaning it, propping it up at about a 45 or 55 degree angle, roughly. And ultimately, yeah, that was a little bit more comfortable because I tend to like to sit a little bit more upright. My hands are freakishly huge, so if it looks really small, it is kind of a smaller device, but it's not an itty-bitty device. In fact, it's about the size of like drawing on an iPad or something like that. That's roughly similar in terms of the size of the screen. And of course, before you go and type that question about the glare that you see in some of the video, I want to mention that I just moved into a new office space and the lighting, I'm still getting used to it for recording. So the device itself is not really particularly shiny in terms of the specular reflectivity of the screen. The quality of the screen was actually really good. It doesn't feel like cheap, lightweight plastic. It feels like compact, efficient plastic construction. It did, however, feel to me that the screen size was a little bit of an issue. If I were going to use this like all the time to draw on the screen, I would probably spring for the slightly larger screen size. To give you a frame of reference, I'm usually accustomed to working on a 15-inch MacBook display using a tablet that is off to the side and looking at my laptop monitor. And you can actually do that with this device as well, just using the USB connectivity. So it's particularly nice to have that kind of option. I tend to like devices that I can get a lot of multifunctional use out of. There is a touchscreen slider bar that you can use along the side of the device with the quick key, programmable quick keys. And this super easy, intuitive software that the device comes with or that you download from the website in the drivers. So I didn't really dig into that too much because the video was already getting to be so long and I really wanted to show you some of the kind of artwork that you can do with it. In terms of color vibrance, the screen itself is not quite as intense or bright and saturated as the Vaic that I recently reviewed. That device had also a screen, it was roughly similar size that you could draw on that screen, but it had a much more vibrant kind of a color presentation. This one, when you're looking at it at an angle, the viewing angle is not as wide of a range, but it's not like it's bad, because like who's drawing way off to the side, like more than a 40-degree angle or something like that from your screen. If you're most comfortable using a Wacom device, something like this is going to be really familiar to you, because the pen has the built-in button right on where your index finger would go while you're holding the pencil. And it also has an eraser button on the other end with pressure on it. So you can have that set to your secondary color in Photoshop, for example. And it's very comfortable if you're already used to working with other professional grade devices, which does bring me to the question of who exactly is this device for? Now, a lot of times I review these tablets, and they're not usually up to the kind of quality standard that I generally expect, because I'm used to buying the best. I'm used to buying the top of the line, specifically with drawing tools and digital art tools. It's my profession. This is how I make my living. So I tend to spare no expense with buying the best tools that I can get. A lot of times I get sent devices that are for entry-level beginners because of their price point. The Huion 640, the Vaic that I recently reviewed. A lot of times I get sent these devices, and I can only recommend them to beginners who are sort of on that budget, kind of like, well, maybe, if you're not really sure that you're serious about it yet, or you're not really ready to dump some serious cash into your tools yet, those are good products for that. This is a good product for a professional. If you've been working in a game studio, if you've been a professional concept artist and you're making money doing it, like, this is a great product. This is also a great product if you're an absolute beginner with a budget. You can find other tablets out there that'll charge the same price and not be as good. This is the first time in the last 5 years that I've been sent a drawing tablet that made me really start to think, hey, maybe I don't have to pay those exorbitant prices that I'm used to paying for a top quality drawing tablet. I mean, I'll put it this way. After I played around with this thing for a while, I contacted my contact over at XpPen, and I was just straight up like, look, man, I'm going to recommend this to everybody, beginners or pros. And the fact is that if the art community is not already buzzing about XpPen or this particular line of artist tablets from XpPen, they should be. Huion should be paying attention. Vaic should be paying attention. All these guys should be looking at what XpPen is doing with this device, and they need to be adjusting their prices accordingly. They need to be increasing their product quality and the presentation of their quality of their product to match what XpPen is doing with this series of tablets. That's about the most glowing review I've ever given any drawing device. Because quite frankly, this is the first time that I've looked at a product that wasn't made by Wacom and thought this may very well just be my next tablet. Let's get nitpicky for the brief rundown of the negatives here. I would say that I did have some conflict with my Wacom drivers. I found that I had to either have one or the other installed. I couldn't just use this as a backup and swap between the two. I had to have one or the other. The size of the screen might be an issue for some people. If you're a professional and you're thinking about this, maybe look into the 15-inch, but do not write off XpPen. They've got some really good quality product here, and they care about it. It may have been just because Apple just put out the Mojave update for their operating system, but I couldn't program the slider to do a quick key programmable function. Man, other than those things, I'm really kind of hard-pressed to find too many negatives about this, especially for the price point. Last I checked, it was at or close to the $300 mark. To put that into perspective, their competitor has a display that's about the same size that does not allow you to draw on the screen, that's almost $400. I had sort of written off XpPen as another one of these sort of cheap companies for a long, long time until I actually tried one. And I'm actually very pleasantly surprised with the quality here. This is it says that it's developed in California, manufactured in China. I don't know if that matters to you, but if you're looking at the crazy prices that some of XpPen's competitors put up there, I can confirm that they're certainly on the higher tier of all of them. Am I going to switch to this device? I don't usually tend to draw on the screen, so maybe not, but it will be, my next drawing tablet will be an XpPen tablet. If you want to pick one up, click on that link below the video. It is an affiliate link, so I think I get like 10 cents or something if you pick one up. Making the big bucks. So that's it for me on this one, dudes. I want to thank you so much for stopping by. If you like my artwork, please do consider subscribing. I do product reviews and tutorials on how to make concept art for video games like the AAA games that I've worked on in the past. I also got a lot of content for beginners. If you're kind of just getting started or you're looking to break into the industry, it's a good channel to dig into. So until next time, dudes, I'll catch y'all on the bond and ciao, baby. Oh yeah. What's that? That's my signature sign off. That's my catchphrase, baby. Yeah.